Okay, I'm going to tie a little bluegill fly I've been working on for the last little bit. It kind of represents a little miniature frog in the water, and it's super easy to tie. I've just got a basic nymph hook. You can tie this on any hook. The key is it's got to be a little bit heavier wire because it's a really buoyant fly, and you want the butt of the fly to kind of be down in the water. I'm just using some olive UTC thread. I'm going to just dress the fly real quick. I'm going to take some EP fibers, and now you can use pretty much anything. You're just going to want to tie in something that will separate the legs that we're going to tie in, and you'll see what I mean in just a second. But basically I'm just going to tie in some olive-ish colored EP fibers, or you could tie in like some Flash and Slinky or some super hair, something like that. So I'm going to tie it in, and I'm just going to kind of come in at an angle and cut it off. If I just cut it off like this, it would have a really unnatural look to it. So I'm going to come in at an angle and just kind of trim it off. Maybe trim it up just a little bit. Not very pretty, but that's fine. Then I'm going to take some 1/4 inch, or actually I'm going to take the 1/8 inch Evazote foam in olive. Cut just about the width of the gap of the hook, and I'm going to tie it in just a little back from the eye of the hook. So I'm just going to tie this in and take my thread all the way to the back of the fly, and then back up so I really secure it. If you don't do that, then this foam will rotate all around when you're fishing it. So we've got the body tied in. For the legs, they're actually going to be made out of Senyo laser dub, and I'm using the olive color. So I'm going to take out, a pretty generous portion of the laser dub, and I'm just going to preen it back and forth, or try to kind of separate it so I can lengthen or make the lengths of the fibers a little bit more even. So once I have this, I'm just going to kind of make a noodle out of it, and I'm going to take the center point, and that's where I'm going to tie it in. So I'm going to take the center point, and I'm just going to kind of figure eight it in the back of the hook. So it's going to look like that. Then I'm going to pull those back, and I'm going to take my thread and just wrap those back. So those are going to act as our legs to this fly. It's very representative. It doesn't necessarily match a frog, but it kind of fishes like that. Then we're just going to take some crystal chenille, some olive crystal chenille. If you've got some brown, that'd probably work, or even like a pale yellow to represent the frog belly. That would work. So we're just going to tie that in and create the body of the frog. Once we get up here, we're just going to tie this off. Now we're going to take some silly legs. Again, I've got these silly legs I ordered from fishingskirts.com. These are the Okeechobee Craw color. I like it a lot because it's olive, black, and blue. I'm going to take 2 of those, and I'm going to tie it on this side of the hook. Just a couple wraps. And then I'm going to fold the other legs over and tie those in on the other side. And I'm going to trim those about equal to the length of the body. Right now all we're going to do is we're going to take that foam and pull it over the top of the fly. Tie that down with several wraps. We have a little bit of room at the front of the fly, so I'm going to take some chartreuse Senyo laser dub just to kind of make a little bit of a hot spot and cover up our thread wraps. What that's also going to do is it's going to prop up the face of this foam. You're going to see we're going to trim it in just a second, but long enough so it'll push water. So I've got that wrapped up. Just going to throw a quick whip finish in it. We're almost done. Gonna come and cut that straight across the top. This is a really basic fly. Shouldn't be super difficult to tie. Now the legs, I'm going to put some markings on the legs. So I'm just going to grab all those sinew fibers and I'm going to mark both sides. Now when this gets in the water, these legs will separate and taper down just like this in the water. And so they kind of look like little miniature frog legs. Now you'll be fishing this for bluegill, and you know the bass love the frogs just as much as the bluegill do, so they'll come up and crush this fly. So anyway, it's a super easy way to make bluegill poppers. You don't need to have the fancy heads. And the Raney's Evisote foam is definitely the best because it's the highest floating foam that you can get. Alright, go out, fish this fly, have fun with it.